The idea for this month's topic developed during Let's Talk Chapter 2, which took place on the 16th of August of this year, where we talked about tradition, identity and authenticity in dance cultures, and participants asked me a bit about my project Scéalta Damhsa and expressed interest in me helping them with a set of questions that could be used when interviewing someone about dance. On thinking further about it, I thought of developing this and make a whole session for Let's Talk on collecting oral history, especially dance history. There are different reasons as to why someone could be interviewing another person on dance. The variety of those reasons can be quite vast and range from research, preservation, entertainment, personal or community interest, homework, news-related, knowledge-seeking purposes, and so on. It is important to understand that every goal leads to performing those interviews in a different manner, and that every individual person chooses different techniques for different reasons. In this talk, I hope to share and talk about these techniques and motivations with individuals who collect any sort of oral history, particularly dance history. I have invited a couple of people from different backgrounds, and I'm inviting anyone else who is interested in this topic or would like to share their knowledge and experiences during this Zoom session. The session will take place on November 7th and is open-end, so to say. It starts at 3 p.m. Irish time and lasts for as long as the interest and conversation flow of the participants is there. So feel free to drop in, drop out, or even drop back in after a while. We might still be going, you never know. You can listen to the conversation on the side while you're doing something else, just like you would listen to a radio. You can chat along or just watch and use the chat box provided by Zoom. The event is free for all participants. Please remember that you need to register with me through email in order to get access to the Zoom talk. You can find the email in the description as well, or you can contact me via my website. I am very much looking forward to seeing you again or meeting you. Before I leave you here now, let me finish by sharing my personal motivation of my project and explain to you why I interview people on dance. When I started conducting research for my assignments at the University of Limerick for my master degree in Irish Dance Studies, I realised that many of my topics of interest had barely any written information recorded on any media. There was a scarcity of information to draw from, as most of the stories concerned were either passed on in a spoken way or lost and no facts to be found about. Research was thus very difficult. Also, while listening to some audio tapes with interviews at the National Folklore Collection in Dublin, I realised that, while some interviewers asked questions on dance, to me they didn't seem to be very knowledgeable in the art of dance themselves, and thus might not have known the right questions to ask, or quickly moved on to another topic. Sometimes I couldn't help myself think they had a lack of interest in dance. I found all of this to be quite frustrating, to say the least. But it fed my idea of wanting to collect dance stories from individuals for preservation reasons myself. Thus, after developing my project further, Scéalta Damhsa, meaning dance stories in Irish, was born and launched in January 2020. You can hence see where I'm coming from in regards of my motivation for doing this. I want to preserve dance history from being lost. I want to provide future researchers and interested people with adequate information. I want people with a passion in dance to be able to listen to the interviewees firsthand and hear their voices tell their stories and memories with their own expressions and emotions. I can speak from my own experiences listening to interviews that there is a very rewarding and beautiful feel to it. Since my motivation is not of an entertainment nature, I don't have to worry about the length of the interview, which gives me a whole lot of freedom and especially time to dive into different memories and topics and ask enough follow-up questions if necessary. I give my interviewees prompts, but mostly let them do the talking. It's not about me, it's about them and their memories, and so I offer them my ears and endless curiosity. I also find that by merely using an audio recording device, most of them seem to feel more relaxed and have less trouble opening up about things. Many also even forget that there is a recording going on, and it's often very much like having tea with a friend and chatting about this and that. It is very important to me to keep the meeting casual and the interviewee comfortable, so if we end up chit-chatting or deriving from the topic dance for a while, to me it doesn't matter, and I'm not going to disturb the flow of the conversation. When people ask me about my project and find out what I do, I very often get showered with tips as to whom, according to them, I should be interviewing next. Oh, you should interview so and so, he or she knows a lot about dance. But the thing is, it's not particularly that type of knowledge I'm after. I'm not going to do a quiz on dance history with anyone here. It's the embodied knowledge I'm after, the memories, their stories, passions, and feelings. Anyone could be my interviewee, even the granny next door. She also has a story, I'm sure, and I find it as interesting as the story of the guy who has been dancing on a stage since the age of 5, or the girl who has won the world championship several times. I do not make a difference here. I'll share more with you about this at the end of the Zoom session in November, after all my guests have spoken. But I'll leave you a few tips for now that helped and inspired me during my work with Scéalta Damhsa. This book here, for example, Fieldwork by Bruce Jackson, was suggested to us by Dr. Catherine Foley during our class Introduction to Fieldwork Techniques. It is fairly old literature, released in 1987, and certainly not up to date in regards of technicalities and recording devices, but it is written in a language I dare assume anyone could relate to. It feels as if you're in a conversation with the author himself and listen to him tell you about his experiences in the field. It grasps you, and it's just really fun to read and learn without feeling bored by an endless amount of jargon. Also, perhaps you're familiar with the storyteller Eddie Lenihan from Ireland. He started a podcast exactly a year ago, and I found his 6th episode called The Art of Collecting very valuable and entertaining. He's a person you wouldn't want to stop listening to, so pair that up with interesting information about how he got into collecting folklore and you're in for a treat. And last but not least, let me give you 3 keywords I find hugely important to me when I go out and collect for my project. Time, curiosity, and respect. I've talked a bit about time and curiosity just before, and with respect, I mean the respect we should all give to the individual in front of us during an interview. Respect for their time taken, their feelings, their privacy in all senses. Right, but I'll leave you here now, and hope this has given you a wee bit of a taster for chapter 5, and I can't wait to chat to you all and learn from you all and share. See you soon, take care and stay safe.